I think it's safe to say that the entire story of Chef P and the pink sauce is just a masterclass on how to bankrupt your company. But today, we have some insane news because up until now, we've seen what's been going on in public. And while we can speculate on what's going on behind the scenes between Chef P and Dave's Gourmet, we never really knew. Especially with the last video from Chef P where she went on a very long and unhinged rant that didn't really add up. And Chef P also threw out some wild accusations like she was defrauded, not paid, and so on.
Long story short, these people defrauded me.
But she did acknowledge that Dave's Gourmet paid her $120,000, but because she had to pay rent, that doesn't count.
I want to acknowledge this $120,000 that they've responded to the blog saying that they paid me. So number one, it wasn't an upfront payment of $120,000 straightforward. It was sent to me partially, and then also a huge chunk of that money went towards me paying for Airbnb and paying for hotels because, mind y'all, I was homeless for 6 months.
Okay, I don't know what planet she's on, but just because you have bills, that doesn't mean that your payment didn't count. I guess, welcome to being an adult. You make money to pay bills and the cycle goes on. But Dave's Gourmet actually made a response to Chef P's unhinged rant where they just lay out the entire timeline from their point of view. And this answers a lot of our questions that we've been speculating for almost a year now. And here it is, Dave's response to Chef P and Pink Sauce. In August 2022, Dave's Gourmet LLC signed an agreement with Veronica Shaw for her entities Pink Sauce LLC and Flavor Crazy Incorporated, in which Shaw was responsible for promoting Pink Sauce through digital content and Dave's Gourmet was in charge of achieving the required shelf stability for the product, making the formula acceptable for commercial production and following FDA's food production guidelines. Production and sales of the Pink Sauce product online and to retailers. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They saw how much buzz was around the sauce and I guess they just thought, hey, if we fix this sauce, it'll be a success. But they didn't really calculate how much of a disaster of a business owner they were about to partner up with. But it continues by saying, at the time, Shaw was not producing Pink Sauce because the FDA instructed her to cease all production due to quality concerns. Okay, and so now it's essentially confirmed that the FDA did actually show up and shut her down. She was making pink sauce in her kitchen and was shipping it without refrigeration in the heat of summer, and the sauce frequently went bad during shipping, as evidenced by many social media posts from buyers. The sauce was not shelf stable and was not safe for shipping without refrigeration. This was huge negative publicity online and on social media due to the quality issues that Shaw had experienced. That part we've covered a lot where the sauce showed up looking like this.
No, ma'am. No. Oh my God. Look at this! I had gloves on, but we're still putting hand sanitizer on.
So Dave's Gourmet is really saving her here because that is just so much of a disaster. But now, Dave's Gourmet goes on to detail on their deal. According to the agreement, Shaw received an upfront payment of $45,000 as a part of the agreement for Dave's Gourmet to pursue the sales of pink sauce. According to the agreement, Ms. Shaw was responsible for all the refunds for the products that predated the agreement. After the agreement was signed, it turned out that neither Shaw nor her entities had enough funds to cover all the refunds to the people who never received the product that she was responsible for, according to the agreement. It is in our best belief that Shaw was fully aware there were not enough funds to cover the refunds. What? Did she spend the money before her customers even received the product? No way. How is this possible? Whatever. Continuing. There was a hold put by Shopify and PayPal on most of the cash on her accounts due to multiple customer complaints. And even the cash that was there was mostly not available to pay refunds. How is this real? Dave's Gourmet couldn't see the customers disappointed with no product and no refunds, so it provided approximately $30,000 to cover the refunds, even though this was Shaw's responsibility. Okay, according to this, Dave's Gourmet really saved her. So she owed her customers enough money to where the $45,000 didn't cover it, so they needed to give her an additional $30,000. Oh boy, she was really in the hole. Some of these funds came back to Dave's Gourmet after the hold of Shaw's account was lifted by PayPal and Shopify. Prior to entering the partnership with Dave's Gourmet, Shaw reviewed and negotiated the contract with help from her attorney. According to the contract, Shaw receives royalties that depend on the sales of pink sauce. And also, there is a milestone payment if certain goals are met. All payments have been communicated and paid on time in accordance with the agreement. Dave's Gourmet also advised Veronica that pink sauce royalties should not be her only only source of income, as they can fluctuate and she should have a regular job to make sure that she has financial stability. Okay, that's reasonable. She continues her job as a chef and then she gets that extra avenue to monetize her social media presence through the sauce. What could go wrong? Well, apparently a lot. At the time, Dave's Gourmet did not know if any sales would be generated from pink sauce. In the fall of 2022, Shaw was struggling financially. Dave's Gourmet wanted to be helpful and over the course of several months provided Shaw with multiple cash advances that total more than $40,000 without charging Shaw interest for fees. These advances were supposed to be offset by future royalties that Shaw was going to earn. So what was she doing during fall of 2022 on her social media account? Apparently, she was partying on yachts. Hashtag Miami yacht life. I love that there's Don Julio in the picture as well. Pig sauce money, baby. Who needs to refund customers who didn't get their orders when you can just go yachting? Duh. This just goes to show you that social media is so fake. Often the people flexing are the ones who are just in no position to flex to begin with. But it continues on by saying in March of 2023, Shaw communicated that she had spent the entirety of her previous advances and that she needed another advance to feed her children and to avoid being evicted. Dave's Gourmet then sent her 2 advances that total $5,000. But again, encouraged her to continue working her other job and pursue her private chef career as she'd been doing prior to partnering commercially to produce the pink sauce. Oh no, so she's just a money pit for them. Like the fact that she signed this deal and wasn't daily uploading recipes that go well with the pink sauce, that is just beyond me. Everything was set up for her. All she had to do was address the rumors, take accountability, and start working. Now that the sauce isn't gonna make people sick, she just needs to market it. But clearly, she didn't. Shaw wanted to know more about the activities related to the pink sauce and the Dave's Gourmet in the beginning of 2022. Dave's Gourmet team set up a weekly standing meeting to discuss the brand strategy to support and collaborate with Shaw. Shaw attended only a couple of these meetings and has not been in attendance since. I'm genuinely confused into why here. This is her big break. She is literally collabing with a massive sauce company here. Why is she not using this opportunity? It's such a waste. I'm sure there's hundreds of small sauce businesses in the US who would be infinitely grateful for an opportunity like this. They just need to figure out a way to go viral. I just hope that Chef P doesn't stop Dave's from collaborating with other influencers in the future, because this whole experience would probably leave a sour taste in their mouth. But continuing with February 2023, Veronica requested $10,000 in marketing expenses to throw herself a birthday party. You have to be joking. There's no way this woman's real. How does she make this much of a fool out of herself? And provided a request for Dave's Gourmet to pay for her dress that cost more than $800 and shoes which cost over $600, it would potentially be used for a TikTok video. Dave's Gourmet suggested a smaller budget, and because Dave's Gourmet would not approve of these expenses, Shaw refused to collaborate or contribute to marketing efforts alongside of Dave's Gourmet moving forward. There is no way. Did she literally rage quit the pink sauce because Dave's Gourmet didn't want to buy her a $10,000 birthday party and buy her some like designer dress and shoes? Are you serious? How is this real? This is so laughably stupid. I can't believe this. Why would you ever self-destruct like that? This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and this is what she does with it?
This is an innovative brand. This is an innovative product, which comes with risk, which means that money has to be allocated and put into marketing. The marketing is the company.
It's safe to say that Chef P's actions continue to surprise me, and it's definitely not in a positive way. Like, how does it keep getting worse? February of 2023, Shaw attempted to submit business expense reports for personal expenses, like buying 4 pairs of sneakers or expensing her grocery bills. Dave's Gourmet informed her that such activities are fraudulent and asked a lot of questions related to receipts submitted. Shaw did not respond to any of those questions. It's still getting worse. How is this still getting worse? This is May 2023. Due to the large advances on Shaw's royalties owed to Shaw came to about $666.86. Dave's Gourmet decided to hold off on deducting $10,000 in advances from the royalties due until a later period so that Shaw has more funds to cover her needs at the time, and instead pay Shaw $10,666.68. If this is true, this company is being extremely lenient with her. That is a very nice thing to do. This balance in all payments processed have been outlined and communicated to Veronica Veronica consistently. Dave's Gourmet deducted the above-mentioned advances of $10,000 at the second quarter royalty payment. Okay, that's fair. June 2023, Shaw submitted an expense report to Dave's Gourmet that included a request for payment for her time dedicated to making social media content. Such a request was outside the terms of the agreement. Dave's Gourmet asked for clarifications related to the various expenses listed by Shaw, but backups, receipts, and explanations were not approved by Dave's Gourmet. Okay, so it's my understanding here that the value of Dave's partnering with someone like the Pink Sauce Girl is so they get free marketing, or at least very cheap marketing. Clearly, she's been a massive expense. But if she just made content to sell the sauce, she wouldn't be begging them for money because her royalty checks would be way larger. This whole situation is just, it's such a shame. It's such a missed opportunity. Dave's Gourmet has kept this timeline of information private leading up to Veronica took to social media with defamatory statements regarding the integrity of our business, which has put us in an unfortunate position to share details that would have otherwise remained private. In total, Veronica Shaw has received over $120,000 in payments from her partnership with Dave's Gourmet and Pink Sauce since August 2022 to date. She had certain obligations to the contract related to the social media activities that she has violated multiple times, but Dave's Gourmet chose to not enforce them, not to create the illusion that she is not being compensated properly. Dave's Gourmet communicated to both Shaw and her attorney that Dave's Gourmet will cover the costs of Shaw's legal counsel to go through the provisions of the agreement to explain the payments were correct, and Dave's Gourmet is following the agreement. This proposal was rejected by Shaw. Well, if this is accurate, she's scammed everyone who donated to her GoFundMe, because this is not the story that she was telling over there, nor in her video or her multiple unhinged rants that were posted on her YouTube channel and on, I think the other one was on her TikTok live. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if she tries to sue Dave's Gourmet like she said she wanted to do in her GoFundMe and in this video where she went on an angry rant about them. But I guess Chef B just had a masterclass in how to absolutely obliterate a fantastic opportunity.